Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for our special presentation of the Angel Award, presented by the Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana Foundation and Louisiana Public Broadcasting. I'm Dan Bornay, the chair of the Foundation's Board of Directors. I'm delighted to return this year to share with you the stories of 9 everyday people doing extraordinary good for Louisiana's children. Last year, COVID-19 kept us from having our annual gala celebration of our Angel honorees, so we created this broadcast. We were honored that tens of thousands of viewers tuned in and streamed the program online. And so tonight, we're returning to celebrate the undeniable effect of love and service in the face of hardship. So what is the Angel Award? Across Louisiana, there are many children without access to everything they need to thrive: healthy food, loving homes, mentorship, creative play, and educational opportunity. Thankfully, there are also thousands of everyday people working to make a difference in the lives of children. The Angel Award, now in its 27th year, celebrates the compassion and perseverance of those who have made profound differences in the lives of Louisiana's kids.
The Angel Award is a really amazing program. It gives us the opportunity to highlight people who do wonderful work for kids. They see a problem, they work to meet that need, and they keep at it, finding a way to support kids day in and day out. The Blue Cross Foundation has given out more than 200 Angel Awards since 1995. They range in age from 13 up to 95. We have people from Northwest Louisiana to far Southeast Louisiana. They're meeting the academic, social, emotional needs of kids. Effectively, any challenge that a kid has in our state, we have angels who are stepping up to meet that need.
The Angel Award has recognized individuals in healthcare, education, the arts, and much more. And because we know that moving their work for children forward takes time and money, each award comes with a $25,000 grant made to the honorees' nonprofit of choice. Over the years, the award has helped shine the light on hundreds of important organizations, and a number have seen significant growth following the recognition.
Fathers on a Mission was started in 2017 with a mission of serving fathers and father figures and impacting youth to better our communities. We have monthly fatherhood meetings where we provide a dialogue on fatherhood topics to enhance fathers, regardless of their race, regardless of their status. It's all about fatherhood, and then also going into schools and communities and impacting the youth and children. I started Fathers on a Mission because my father was absent by choice throughout my life. Growing up and becoming a father myself and not knowing the things necessary to be a good dad. Once I started learning things, I wanted to see what could I do to help other young men and fathers and kids not go through the struggles I went through. Let them start off at a great pace early off in their lives. Receiving the Angel Award has allowed us to be able to purchase items for the youth that we serve: toiletries, sleeping bags, socks, underclothing, undergarments, even to provide our organization with resources to build upon that. It brings joy to my heart, just doing something that God has put in me to serve other people, right? Showing love and doing what we can to support and enhance the greatness of everyone.
Families Helping Families is an organization that provides support for families who have an individual with disabilities. Families Helping Families provided support to our family when we needed it. We received a diagnosis of autism for our child, Andy, and we really didn't know where to go. The doctor that diagnosed him didn't really have any solutions. They just said, well, my best advice to you is to go out and find other people who are in the same situation and ask them what they did. So Families Helping Families provided that. They provided the materials that we needed, the referrals we needed, information all in one location, and the folks that work there all have family members with disabilities. Receiving the Angel Award helped Families Helping Families grow, not only in the money that they received, but in the publicity that came along with the award, let more families know that these services are out there and available to them.
The last 2 years have been extraordinarily challenging for everyone, including families and kids. The foundation has granted over $17 million since 2020, including programs like the Angel Award, COVID-19 response, disaster relief, and public health. Even in times such as these, we continue to lift up our angels as champions for children, because we believe that when everyday people make a commitment to change by taking on the challenge in front of them, it makes a world of difference for our state. And now, let's meet our 2021 Angel Award honorees. Our first honoree is a physician who immigrated to the United States in 2015. He was recruited to serve as a patient representative for the New Orleans Children's Health Project, where he helps kids and families get life-saving medical services, food, education, and housing. This is Miguel Alonso of New Orleans.
My name is Miguel Alonso, Case Manager of New Orleans Children's Health Project.
The New Orleans Children's Health Project started after Hurricane Katrina, and it has definitely evolved since that time. Initially, our focus was disaster response, but as the needs and the population here in New Orleans changed, so did our mission. We currently are the primary medical home for immigrant and refugee families, largely coming from Central America. We provide pediatric primary care, case management, behavioral health, and legal aid to these families.
I left Cuba in 2014 looking for new opportunities. I came to the US where I couldn't practice my profession as a doctor, so I had to looking for something else to do. I was working as a porter in the property, and I went to some place looking for new job opportunities, like construction jobs, whatever they have with a better salary, because I had my family here to support. When I met Carlos, he encouraged me to apply for this job.
We hired Miguel, and he worked very closely with Carlos, who was a 2013 Angel Award recipient, for about a year. Unfortunately, Carlos passed away due to pancreatic cancer, but that torch that Carlos started with our Hispanic Outreach Initiative, Miguel just picked it up and continues to run with it, elevating the work to an even higher level than what we did before. In any given year, we see approximately 1,200 unique patients. These are very complicated cases with children experiencing food insecurity, exposure to trauma, as well as chronic medical conditions.
To Miguel, these are not just his patients. These are extensions of his family because he just takes that extra effort to get to know them on that personal level. And that's what makes the difference. And that's what we need more of. And it really is that personal attention Miguel gives them that restores a lot of their own personal dignity and therefore their strength to continue.
Miguel is our angel. He is the heart of this program. He is a lifeline for the families that we work with. Despite all the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, our program was quickly able to pivot. Miguel began making home visits, delivering resources directly to the family's doorsteps, such as food, diapers, clothing, and other essentials such as hygiene products.
This work is wonderful because when a family comes and the child is in need, or for example, special needs children to come to the country and they don't have Medicaid, so I refer that family to New Orleans Children's Health Project. And also if the child, needs a car seat or any other resources that we can connect or link the family with other organizations, we do that.
The immigration is a huge change. We have to be very brave to do that. It's happening every day with my patients. They feel so confused. They feel sometimes discriminated. They feel hopeless most of the time. And when they finally find someone who speaks their language, who takes time to understand their needs, when they find somebody who say, I understand you, I know how you feel, but I know the way you will feel better. Let me help you with that.
Aparte de ser médicos, son personas bien humanitarias. Y Miguel me ha ayudado no solo con la salud de mis hijos, sino que me ha ayudado con mi hijo Héctor, que ha sido diagnosticado con autismo y he necesitado citas para el Children's Hospitals para exámenes y terapias de lenguaje, y Miguel me ha ayudado mucho a conseguir todo eso.
The way Carlos helped me is the same way I would like to use with everybody else in my life. It's what I do with my patients, with the parents, with my family, with my daughters. I feel like we have to. That's the same way I want to be.
Miguel has shown tireless devotion to the families he serves. His unwavering dedication to meeting any and every need is what makes him an angel to thousands of children. Our next angel has transformed the local library system into a resource center for children and families of all kinds. She has led her team to provide empowering multicultural programming. And when disaster strikes, the library provides food, internet, and vital information services. This is Stephanie Antley Herman.
My name is Stephanie Herman, and I'm the director of the Union Parish Library. Our role is really to be a connection for the community to the resources that they need. The mission of the Union Parish Library is to provide education, information, recreation, and culture for the people of Union Parish. We, however, interpret that many creative ways.
With Stephanie, you don't know what you're going to see when you come into the library. You might come in and you have quinceañera dresses. You might come in and there's a bear. You might come in and there's a boat in the middle of the library. But I think whatever theme that she goes with every month, she brings it to life.
We're very much a themed library, so we love to celebrate different months and different celebrations that are reflective of the people who live in our community. One of those months is Black History Month. And our goal for Black history is to really make it relevant to everyone.
What we've done, we've kind of modernized it because we have people right here in Union Parish that are heroes. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have authors, we have people that own their own businesses. We let them come in and tell their story.
She brought in all of these African-American local people who had been in the military or people who were involved in outdoor sports. Then another time she brought in all these people that were involved in healthcare. It's very meaningful to our families to see themselves, not only in books, but in just the actual programs that she does at the library too.
We want them to know this is their library. We want them to know that you're at home.
We have our program, Spanish Story Time, on Saturdays, and we included this so that our Hispanics from Union Parish can come and feel like they have a place they belong.
I think most people know what a library is and does. We have books. But I believe that our library probably goes a little step beyond that. We check out board games for families. We check out tents and sleeping bags and fishing poles. We try to look at what our community needs and see how we can, as a library, provide that. One of the things we realized during the pandemic is that people needed access to the internet. We do provide Wi-Fi here at the library, but we've also expanded that into 4 rural communities and also Wi-Fi hotspots that can be checked out. Each month we have a little over 4,000 people that come to the library. For a parish that's only about 22,000 people in population, that's about 1/5 of the people who live here.
One thing my children have really learned here that I'm so happy about is they've seen service in action. Stephanie is passionate about serving the community and about making sure that everybody, no matter what walk of life they're from, is included and is served. And my children have been able to learn from that by being a part of it in different projects that she's had available for us to join. And it's made a big difference in their life.
I just love, especially whenever we do the food can drives, we'll give food cans. That's fun to help other people who don't get enough of a meal. And what else Miss Stephanie does with it's pretty cool too, seeing what she does.
Our culture in our community, in large part, involves the outdoors. I believe that one of the reasons that I care so much about the outdoors is because the outdoors have meant a lot to me. It is my culture, it is my childhood, but these are also family memories of mine, ways that I have shared experiences with my children, camping and fishing and kayaking. And And yes, we want all people to feel like they have access to that.
When people were affected by the hurricane, Stephanie called us all in and said, we're gonna start feeding people from the library. So I need cookies, I need this, I need that. She does a soup kitchen, and she will pack stuff up and then say, hey, come and get it. She started a food pantry at the library. Who does that? It's a library, right? But literally she has food available for families who need it. Everything she does, she doesn't do it for recognition, which is why this is so important. Because she does it because she cares about it. She loves people.
Stephanie is just, you can't put it into words. She is just awesome. And we love her. And I told her, whatever you do not leave this library until I retire. I want you here with me.
There's nothing fake about her. Her heart is big, and she's just all heart. That's who she is.
I didn't necessarily choose to become a librarian. I've always sought roles where I really feel like I can make a difference. So I guess the library chose me.
Supporters describe the Union Parish Library as the heart of that region for children. Stephanie and her team use any and every resource they have to show up for families in need, which is what makes them all angels. Angels are people in all walks of life who see a need and decide to fill it. Our next angel does just that each and every day on the job, delivering packages. Not just that, he's also recruited his coworkers to be the eyes and the ears of their communities and found ways to fill the needs often overlooked. This is Big Brown.
My name is James Big Brown Joseph, founder of Big Brown Reaching Back. Big Brown Reaching Back is a bunch of UPS guys. UPS employees can see things before anybody else see it. That's why our organization was started, because we wanted to do more in our community.
The money that we donate to the Big Brown organization, he gives back to the UPS families that are in need. If someone's house catch on fire and burn, he donated money to that employee to help out. He comes through and he helps out with people that had financial issues when they have a loved one that passes away. He also donates to the community.
Over the years, we have done a lot of things that people need. We've put over 5,000 air conditioners throughout the state of Louisiana. We sponsor schools every year. So this year we're gonna sponsor 17 schools. We're gonna donate $1,200 for school supplies. And then we come back during the school year and find out whatever the needs are in the school and donate that.
James and the other UPS drivers know more about community than many of the rest of us do. He is in and out of buildings all day. They are immediately attached to all the communities in which they are functioning. And in the Big Brown Giving Back program, every UPS driver in our region has an opportunity to say what this particular school needs, or even what this particular elderly person needs.
Big Brown really looks into the community to see what the need is. He knows what resources he has that help to support him, and he brings those resources together to target that need. And that's really important when doing this sort of work. It helps it to be more impactful and get to the folks that need it.
Baton Rouge Area Foundation created a fund to support his philanthropy. Since that fund was created, he's made 524 grants. And through his efforts and those who love and support his work, they've given away $618,000 to help school children with school supplies, people who need fans in the summer and heaters in the winter.
Big Brown has been involved with the Big Buddy program for over 20 years. His gifts has ranged from financial contributions to the organization to help promote the mission, to supplies donated at times throughout the year to help young people do well in their studies. Big Brown's work throughout the pandemic has really stood out to me. From going in the neighborhoods to give out meals to families who needed them. He coordinated all of his partners, all of the folks who wanted to help, and actually drove the truck around to hand out meals.
During the pandemic, it made me realize that our kids are suffering. So UPS and Big Brown Reaching Back organization teamed up, and we made sure that our kids had everything they needed as far as PPEs are concerned. So we donated 100,000 hand sanitizer, 80,000 wipes, and over 100,000 masks. And we also fed over 12,000 children during the summertime. The reason why I do things in the community is because of my mom. Her name is Lily Joseph, and my uncle, whose name is Jesse Joseph. Those two gave so much to the community, and I watched them. And I watched them do things, and I say, hey, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be a part of that. I want to give back to my community as well.
I've been knowing Big Brown for about 25 years, and I've never met a person that is more passionate about people.
He is likely to show up at their door and say, what is it you need? How can I help? And that might be an air conditioner, that might be a ramp, it might be school supplies, it might be PPE for a school. Whether it's little or whether it's big, James is willing to help address the problem.
God made Big Brown, he made a big man, but he also gave him a very, very big heart. And if you're looking for an example of where one man and his passion can make a difference, that is Big Brown. He constantly wakes up every day asking the question of how can I make a difference and how can I help people? And he does it every day. We're lucky to have him in our lives.
Big Brown continues to provide supplies and services wherever needed. Earlier this year, his organization delivered gas, generators, and air conditioners to people impacted by Hurricane Ida. Thank you, Big Brown, for being an angel to those in need. Our country has come a long way in affirming and celebrating LGBTQ+ people. But there are still young people who find themselves rejected by their families and left without a place to go. Our next angel has worked for years with organizations that support LGBT young people and has been an advocate and leader in the community. This is Dr. Mark Behar.
My name is Mark Behar. I'm the founder and developer of Pride Prom NOLA.
Mark thought of the idea for the Pride Prom because he recognized there's a tremendous need in the community for a fun, safe, welcoming space for LGBTQ young people.
It's important for LGBT youth to be able to have their own prom because in some cases they're not welcome to bring a date of their own choice. They might not be allowed to dress in the attire that they choose to. And we wanted to create a different environment for them so they could enjoy the prom authentically.
The Pride Prom also provides an opportunity for them to get to know each other and to build a network of supporting peers, and then also to get introduced to agencies that can help them. Many of them are suffering from PTSD as a result of a lot of the abuse and violence they've experienced in their past. Many of them are fleeing unwelcoming families, for example. I know at Covenant House, up to 90% of the transgender young people that we see have at one point attempted suicide. So it's a very, very serious issue for these young people that are often rejected by those who should have loved them unconditionally.
Discrimination still exists today. We all know it and see it, not just the LGBT community and especially the transgender community, but different minorities still encounter racism and xenophobia, and that's why I continue to work with different organizations to combat discrimination on many different fronts.
Forum for Equality is Louisiana's statewide LGBT organization. We work on everything from just equal rights in employment, housing, public accommodations, also helping secure equal rights for LGBT families. Mark is someone who, when he commits to a cause, gives everything to it. His time, his talent, his money, and his energy. It is phenomenal to see him take over a project and move it from start to finish.
Avodah is an organization that takes young people and trains up the next generation of Jewish social justice leaders. And Mark has been instrumental in helping not only with the funding of the organization, but also with mentoring our core members, bringing them into his home, and being an overall supporter of Avodah in the community.
Mark believes in a Jewish concept of tikkun olam, repair the world.
He's always giving of himself, often not thinking of himself, and actually doing a lot more work because he is a driver in getting it done. To me, the best example is the Pride Prom.
Dr. B, that's what we call him, came to see us in December of 18 and asked us if we would be willing to partner with some sort of LGBTQ-friendly youth event, something like a prom. We were able to work with Marcus Stein, PFLAG, and Hyatt's own High Pride organization, which is one of our diversity groups within Hyatt. We were actually able to attract Big Frida as our headlining entertainment.
I think for many of the young people who attend the Pride Prom, especially those who are residents of Covenant House, they've been grappling their whole lives with some pretty major issues. You know, just how can they find a safe place to sleep at night? How can they be accepted by their families? But the Pride Prom, even though it's just one night and just one experience, it can start to help them believe that anything is possible, you know, because there is no reason that they can't accomplish whatever they want in the world. They can be accepted by others. They can be their true selves. And they can dream. And the Pride Prom, I think, is just the beginning of that belief.
Those of us who came to volunteer were managers in the hotel. For us, it was initially just another event. And then we got to see these 300 plus LGBTQ youth dancing and celebrating in the outfits they loved with the guests they wanted to bring. And suddenly all of us around the room were just sobbing. Just being able to see these kids be so natural and so happy and so joyful and not looking over their shoulders at who may be looking at them, who may be watching them, who may be swooping in to tell them you can't do that, you can't be that way, you can't be who you are. And to be able to see them really let loose and do what they wanted and have this wonderful time and make new friends, it was joyful to be able to watch this unloading of the pressure that they must carry with them every day as young people.
I get a lot of satisfaction from seeing positive changes in my community. Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. And it's something that guides me. I do want to see a lot of change. I want to see things better for people. And if I can play a small role in that, I'm glad to do it.
Pride Prom NOLA will return next year, and Mark will be on the front lines welcoming and celebrating young people. For those of you who are counting, we're about halfway through the program. There's more to come, but you might be inspired in thinking of ways to start or deepen your commitment to serving children in need. We've created a special page featuring the stories of our angels. If you want to connect with any of the organizations featured tonight, volunteer, or otherwise support, visit our website at angelawardla.com to learn more. Now let's meet the rest of our angels. Each year, the Foundation honors a Blue Angel, an employee of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana, who has shown extraordinary commitment to children. This year, the Foundation has selected Kelly Douyan of Crowley. Kelly is a longtime volunteer and board member with The Life of a Single Mom, an organization that makes sure no single mom walks alone.
My name is Kelly Douyan, and I work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana, and I'm a board member for The Life of a Single Mom.
The Life of a Single Mom exists to see that no single mom walks alone. And what that looks like is support groups around the state of Louisiana to ensure that these women are empowered and encouraged, and education and life skills so that they're successful long term.
The reason why I chose to serve on the board of The Life of a Single Mom is because I love kids, and I always feel like if their parents are happy and healthy and in a good position, then their kids will be too. I know as a parent now how hard it is, and so I have my husband to lean on to help with the kids and to do things around the house. My mom didn't have that. With my mom, I feel like she struggled more than my dad with being a single parent. My dad owned his own business and he did well. My mom worked every day, and I think she struggled to manage like raising kids and working and home life. And so I saw that.
Over the last 10 years, The Life of a Single Mom has served 627,000 single mothers. We cannot believe all of the impact over that 10-year period. But what's been really exciting is not just the numbers of the moms we've served, but the stories that have come out of the women's lives. Lives that had lost hope and now they have hope. Women who didn't know how to parent their children well, but now have the skills that they need to be successful. We have over 1,600 single mom support groups, and 50 of those are right here in the state of Louisiana.
As a single mom, you walk through so many challenges, especially when there's not a support group around you or anybody that understands. I had a son when I was very young, and so this ministry means a lot to me. I understand the struggles that single moms go through and face every day. Working 2 jobs, going to school, and trying to grow up as a young mother has been very difficult. You just have to press forward, and it's one of the hardest things that you can walk through as a human being. Kelly has been so compassionate and loving and kind in speaking about my journey to her.
One of the things that I love about Kelly is that she's warm, she's authentic, she's real. She is the type of person who understands what it's like to be down and out. She understands what a single mom's challenges are, having been raised by a single mom, and that makes her someone that resonates with our clients. I love the fact that she's always willing to say yes. She is steady, she is present, and she's also someone who will get in and put potatoes on someone's plate if they need that at an event. And so I love that she's willing to do it all to ensure that we're successful.
Kelly stands out because the way she handles people. She sees them when she speaks to them. She's compassionate and kind in everything that she does. She's always there when you need her. She goes above and beyond and has done so since I've known her.
Whenever I was little, I would tell everyone that I wanted to be president of the United States. But as I got older, I realized that that was not going to be possible. But then I also realized that that's not what I wanted to do, and that's not what I was meant to do. What I realized that I was meant to do is to help people. And so every day I wake up and I say, how can I help people? And that's what I do at my work. I love my job. I think I have the best job in the whole wide world. I'm super thankful to be able to work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana. They allow me to be able to work with nonprofits all across the state. When there's a disaster, I'm able to, call them and find out what it is that they need. And Blue Cross, whatever it is that they need, they're always there to help people.
The foundation is making a $10,000 grant to the Life of a Single Mom in Kelly's name to continue its work supporting children and mothers. Kelly, we are so grateful for your bright spirit, your unfailing kindness, and your commitment to service. Our next honoree works to end teen deaths by suicide, which are far too common. He has rallied teachers, parents, and students to make sure young people have access to mental health services. He has also advocated for policy changes to teach suicide prevention in schools so that no student feels alone. This is Ken Brown.
My name is Ken Brown, and I am the co-founder of the Pilot program. Pilot is a peer support program where students at the high school level are trained by the McNeese Psychology Department to sit with other students and give them support for issues that they're undergoing that are too big for them to handle on their own. My son lost a good friend to suicide. What helped my son the most was not talking to professional counselors, but it was actually talking to a peer who had gone through a similar experience. As a teacher and a parent, we were asking ourselves, what can we do to stop this? And that's where the idea for Pilot came along. And we took that example of peer support that had helped my son, and we implemented that on a much larger scale.
Our peer support team members are selected through a very vigorous process. We try to choose students from every area of the school, athletes, academics, so that we have a really nice cross-section to represent every student on our campus. Our students are trained by McNeese State University's psychology department. They are taught how to listen without giving advice and how to provide support, and also to be the bridge to professional counseling.
There are about 100 students in the club, and the club is expanding. There's new students that are joining every year. I trained my 11th grade year to be a peer support team member, and then during my senior year, I was actually able to sit with students. We were trained on being listeners and not advice givers and advocates for the students on this campus. Oftentimes, students feel like they are not heard or they're alone, not seen. And so what this does is give us an opportunity to sit with them and for them to know that when they need someone to speak to, that we're always there for them.
Suicide's the second leading cause of death for teens. At any given time, 1 in 20 teens is having suicidal ideation. So at Sam Houston High School, if you have 1,200 students, all right, help me do the math, I'm on camera, but 10% would be 120, right? So 5% would be 60. So that's 2 full classrooms of kids at the school that would be having some sort of suicidal ideation. That's why this program's so important. And that's why it's important that we get the message out, because that's not just happening here at this school, that's happening statewide and nationwide.
My son, Channing Hedrick, was a freshman at Sam Houston High School. In February of 2014, he died by suicide. I truly believe had the pilot program been in place in 2014, Channing would have reached out to someone, and I wouldn't be here today speaking to you.
With everything that we've gone through in the state of Louisiana, especially in our area, students are faced with adult-sized problems. These include being displaced, having their schools changed, some of them having to move out and move back into the district, their homes being destroyed, loss of property, loss of family members, a lot of grief. There's a number of things that students weren't prepared for that they need that support now.
As a teacher, when I see a kid struggling, I know that I can refer them to the pilot program. Ms. Jolie is still continuing the work here with Pilot at our campus, and Mr. Brown is expanding the program and starting one at his campus that he is at now.
We would love to see this program expand to statewide. The numbers coming out of the studies from youth and adolescents in COVID really see the demand for a suicide prevention program at that level.
One of the barriers to suicide prevention is the fact that it's hard to talk about. People don't want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable, it's awkward. What we're really hoping is programs like this make it more commonplace to talk about mental illness and suicide prevention. Once you start talking about it, it helps ease that stigma away. That's how you start saving lives.
I'm so proud of the work that we do, and I'm so proud of our peer support team. It's tears of joy, it's sadness and hurt because, knowing that the student was suffering, but also relief, knowing that we did help them bridge to professional help and a bright future.
One of the most important things we've been able to do in Pilot is to go to the Capitol and meet the governor and actually have a law passed that requires teachers 2 hours of training annually on suicide prevention and for middle and high school for the suicide hotline number to be on their IDs.
Ken Brown, he is genuine. He follows through, and he's not afraid to push buttons. He's not afraid to rock the boat. He is there for those kids 100%.
I believe Ken is deserving of this award, not only because he's keeping my son's legacy alive, but because you can honestly see how much he cares about every student he comes in contact with. This program, it's not just school hours. He's not in it just Monday through Friday. He is there for those kids 24/7. They can reach out to him. They can reach out to their peers. He is the comfort. He is the foundation that lets them know it's okay for them to crumble because they have bricks beneath them that will catch them.
The pilot program has become a model for other school districts, and Ken's work will provide a path of hope to thousands of students. Our next angel is one of our youngest ever. She's just 13 years old. She's brave, headstrong, tenacious, and living with cerebral palsy. When she saw that other children and their families couldn't afford adaptive medical equipment, she decided to do something about it. This is Riley Duos.
My name is Riley Duos, and I'm the founder of CRD No Limits Foundation. We help cover medical needs and equipment for kids with special needs. I wanted to let people know that with God, there are no limits.
When Riley was 6 years old, she started talking about raising money for children with special needs. She kept pushing and pushing, and I thought, there's no way that I can do this. I don't have time. I have a full-time job. And one day in church, there was a message from the pastor that said, if something has been laid on your heart to do it and you feel like you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the things to do it, he said, just do it. He said, God's calling you to do it. And that's when I knew that's what we needed to do.
I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at 6 months old. I was told I was never gonna walk, never talk. Now I chair, I do archery. I played softball. So I just wanted to help those kids and tell them that never doubt God.
This child had a vision back when she was 6 years old to take on this responsibility, to make others able to communicate and get around like she was afforded that opportunity.
When you have a child diagnosed with something that is different from what you planned, it's terrifying. You don't know what the future holds. And that's where the foundation comes into play. We are able to help with some of those differences and ease some of the burdens that are on the parents of the special needs child.
When it comes to children with special needs, I think we all, a lot of times people will assume, well, whatever they need will be taken care of, that someone's going to make sure the child gets that. The reality is there's a huge cost that goes into equipment for children with special needs, and insurance isn't always going to cover it. They may be limited to one item per year, or maybe they'll cover 50% of it, but if it costs $4,000, well, that family's responsible for that $2,000. So foundations like Riley's steps in and takes care of that burden and makes sure these children get what they need.
Since 2016, we've been able to raise a little over $125,000, which has helped to defer cost for all medical expenses for children with special needs throughout the U.S. We have helped cover walkers, wheelchairs. We've made modifications to homes to make them handicap accessible. We have paid for deductibles for surgeries, cancer treatments, anything that is a need for someone to just help ease that financial burden for a parent.
With my foundation, children are nominated for wishes with Pay It Forward Networking, and each child receives 3 wishes they could ask for. When we post a wish for a child needing medical equipment, No Limit steps in and covers that for us.
Jesse and Riley, they don't even wait for somebody else to pick up the wish or to grant the wish. They take care of it, always quickly.
What we've seen with these families who have gotten equipment is, it's been life-changing. The stuff that they've been able to get, it's allowed them to be a little more independent, and it's gotten them to a point where they're, have a little bit more freedom, help them to get around and move within their environment. That's been life-changing for a lot of these people.
I didn't want kids to feel like there was nothing out there. I eventually want to start like a handicap softball or handicap playground, because I just don't want kids to feel like they can't do something. My favorite verse is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I've always had that on my heart.
Riley has not let anything ever stop her. She's attempted everything that she's given. Archery for one, it's like, who would have thought that she would have had that opportunity, but she did. And that was an amazing experience for her.
She's very tough. She has the tenacity of a bulldog. First time she scored, she shot a 20 out of 300. In the first tournament she scored, she shot a 68 out of 300. And now we've advanced to a 268 out of 300. That shows you the commitment and dedication that she has.
What I really admire about Riley is her sense of determination. She doesn't let anything get in her way. When she has a goal, she sets her mind to it and she does what she needs to do to get it done.
My mom has made my dream for the foundation come true. I feel like God's always put that purpose in my life to help kids with special needs.
I wish that all children with some sort of disability had a mother and a supporter that made things happen. There's nothing that Riley cannot do. I love that. I love that she shows others that they can do anything no matter what. I like that. It's my favorite.
Riley's dream is to build fully adaptive playgrounds everywhere in the country. And honestly, I think she's going to do it, don't you? Our next honoree has devoted herself to making it possible for young people to get into and finish college. Small bumps in the road can be like mountains for young people coming from rural places or who grew up in generational poverty. This angel finds them and lifts them up to fulfill their full potential. This is Dr. Erin Wheeler.
My name is Dr. Erin Wheeler, and I am the Executive Director of College Beyond. College Beyond is a nonprofit based in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we help low-income students enroll in complete college. College Beyond serves students who have a commitment to go to college, but they don't have the financial means to do so. We are now serving 250 students. We help them through success coaching by providing the one person who can support them, as well as small dollar grants to help them with basic needs such as food, transportation, and other needs.
There's really huge systematic barriers that our students are facing that we want to help them navigate through. We know that a lot of our students have what's inside of them to be successful, and so we just want to help them release their own excellence.
Many students, especially first-generation students, go into college with what they feel like is the weight of the world on their shoulders. They need to do this for themselves. They often need to do it for their family members. If they're non-traditional students, they may have children of their own that they really need this to pan out for them. They need to get through college, they need to graduate, they need to get a job. So when they get there, if things are not working out for them, they immediately panic. And that can cause a lot of emotional turmoil for our students when they don't have the adequate resources to turn to. And that's why a program like College Beyond is so important, because they're giving students someone to connect with, they're giving them financial resources, and they're providing a support system for these students.
We had a student who was an immigrant student here on DACA or Dreamer, and she had no financial aid. And she did 2 or 3 jobs to fund her education, and she got towards her senior year and ran out of money for school, and she came to us. We were able to reach out to the community, reach out directly to University of New Orleans to help her get funds, and she graduated with honors. And that's something I'm really proud of, that we were able to help her with.
My dream is to make sure that students are seen for their potential and not described or limited by their background, in which they have no control over, or arbitrary standardized test scores with college at all. It's all about social emotional intelligence, whether you can connect to people, advocate for yourself, problem solve, all of those emotional intelligence things that there's no test for. That's what makes a student succeed or not succeed in college.
I feel like I've been knowing Erin all her life. She started at this university as my student employee, and she has demonstrated leadership from her freshman year, where we assigned her to coordinate a program called Project Pool, which is a freshman mentoring program. And she showed this same passion for the work that she's doing today. Erin is someone that I deeply trust, I love, and I respect.
Erin is one of my favorite people. She's a phenomenal human being, caring and compassionate. And she's just really engaging with students, the way she captures them, talks to them, helps them, and just being able to see how the students react to her and listen to her is a really awesome experience.
Erin is a great leader for this organization. I have greatly appreciated her innovation that she's brought to the table. Anytime there is something that we need to do our job better, she has a solution and a resource to help us.
All the students are intelligent. It's life smacks them dead in the face. Things that just happen to them, and the trauma that they're holding on to, or the trauma that they are currently experiencing, is nothing like very special that we do. We do have an approach, but it's us helping them through the life part of going to college. And I think that's where the magic is for College Beyond. It's just really being that person and acknowledging life happens.
Erin's work continues to support students who will go on to do great things for themselves, their families, and their communities. Thank you, Erin, for your dedication. Our final honoree tonight is the leader of an organization that helps young people find their passion, get into college, and enter the workforce ready to succeed. He and his team empower young people to make change. This is Lucas Spielvogel.
My name is Lucas Spielvogel, and I am the Executive Director of the Baton Rouge Youth Coalition. Baton Rouge Youth Coalition is an after-school program serving high-achieving, underserved high school students toward college and careers.
Our vision is to see students have the best college access resources that money can buy for free. Just the idea that
access to college should not be dependent on where a fellow comes from, but really being able to give them the resources to be able to level up wherever they want to go.
Oftentimes, it's really hard, even impossible, to do the arduous work of being a teacher and then try to support your students in the ways they need your support outside of the classroom. They need both. They need what's happening in social studies, in math, and beyond. They also need the kind of support that students born into affluent families have in droves outside of school. There's going to be the tutoring. There's going to be, as you get later in high school, the ACT prep. There's going to be access to summer enrichment opportunities that may cost money. And so these are the small things that make up kind of the puzzle of a more resourced student's education career. And students who do not have those resources still have those exact same dreams. The difference is their access to resources.
He understands the fact that the kids that he has always worked with, they are disadvantaged. And he's able to help them acquire skills that allow them to take advantage of opportunities that they ordinarily would not have.
Students have access to tutoring, mental health counseling, writing coaching. We also do a lot of BRIC community events, so we take our students on college tours. We have our students come to BRIC for service days, for field days. One of the most important parts of the BRIC model is that every single one of our fellows gets a one-to-one volunteer mentor.
The student that I mentored along with my now husband, he was having difficulties at home. He was in a foster care situation that was not working out. And we ultimately took him in, and he's now a part of our family. It is an extreme case. Not everyone will establish such a relationship with a mentee, but for me, it was the piece that said, BRIC matters. BRIC can literally change your life, and not just within the walls of BRIC, but outside of what BRIC can offer to students. And so I think that's the reason why I keep coming back, why mentoring is so important, because you get to see people, opportunity in spaces that are different from your own life experience, and you can see that things are possible outside of what you have seen maybe for a majority of your life.
Over the last 4 years, BRIC has grown from only having about 200 fellows, and then this year we have over 300. We were able to navigate the pandemic with over 250 students virtually and still have them be engaged in our programming, still seeing gains. So it's been exciting to see that even when the world changes, that we were able to be a stable environment for our fellows.
BRIC helped me get into college. They helped me figure out what I wanted to do in life, and they supported me every step of the way. My senior year, Lucas was my mentor. He pushed me every step of the way. He did not let me settle for anything, and he was there for mental and school issues.
We have a nearly 75% college completion rate amongst our more than 510 alumni, and so we are really proud of the fact that when you are in BRIC, you are going to graduate high school with clear plans for college, with a viable, responsible financial aid plan, and with the support that you need to make it through college. But I think some of the biggest things that you're gonna see happen when you are a part of BRIC is the change in students' comfort level with being themselves.
Mr. Lucas, Miss Chelsea, they always saw more than what I saw inside of myself. And just that type of thinking, it followed me all the way to college. And now I know there's no limits to what I can accomplish in life.
The one thing I think that is amazing about Lucas is that he is authentic. It is not easy to be a person who's not from Louisiana or Baton Rouge to come into these spaces and advocate for children who look and are different from him. And I think he does that with a sense of ease and a purpose that shows that he is a caring individual about education and students in Baton Rouge. And I think that authenticity shows.
When I saw him in the classroom, the way he identified with the kids, just everything that he did was just so natural and so awe-inspiring to me. The kids just loved him. And I fell in love with him. He's a force to reckon with. He really is.
Lucas recently became a father for the first time and is hopefully at home watching with his family. Congratulations to you, Lucas, and your team. Thank you for all you do. It has been my great pleasure to be with you tonight to celebrate these outstanding individuals who truly represent the best of everyday Louisianians working for good. As I say goodnight to you, I'm handing it over to Michael Tipton, the president of our foundation, to say a few final remarks.
As we reach the end of our program tonight, there are a few people we need to thank. First, I want to thank Dan Bournet for being an excellent host through our program once again. Second, I want to give our sincerest thanks to Louisiana Public Broadcasting for agreeing to co-present this event with us. We would not have been able to do it without you, and we greatly appreciate your continued partnership. There are many people to thank for putting this program together, especially my colleagues in the Blue Cross Foundation, Community Relations, and Strategic Communications teams. Thank you. Finally, a thank you to each of you watching at home and celebrating alongside our angels. It means so much to us and to them to have your support, particularly for Louisiana's children. Please visit angelawardla.com to find out more about our angels and about how you can support their work in the days and weeks to come. Congratulations again to all of our angels, and thank you for your commitment to Louisiana's children.